You want to talk Maui? Because Maui gets rolling on Monday, my man.
Yeah, let's look ahead to the Maui Invitational. It's an 8-team event. 3 days. We'll crown a champion on Wednesday. We'll get started on Monday. The games are as follows: Texas Tech, Creighton; Arkansas, Louisville; Ohio State, San Diego State; Arizona, Cincinnati. That's how we go on Monday. So I've got Creighton, Arkansas, San Diego State, and Arizona winning first round games, which would mean I'd have an Arkansas Creighton semifinal, and an Arizona San Diego State semifinal. And then I've got Arkansas and Arizona winning those games, and Arkansas over Arizona in the title game. So I've got Arkansas as my Maui Invitational champion. But it should be noted, and perhaps this is something that should have prevented me from doing this, Nick Smith hasn't played yet. This five-star freshman, projected top 5 pick in the 2023 NBA draft, got a right knee issue. And the latest I had heard, Eric Musselman, the most recent time that he addressed it, he said Nick Smith hadn't been practicing. And so it doesn't sound like he's going to be available in Maui, although he did travel to Maui, I'm told. But, you know, most of us thought that Nick Smith would be Arkansas's best player. And so far, Arkansas hasn't had him, and it's unclear if they're going to have him over the next few days.
That's enough for me to not pick Arkansas to win the bracket, because this is a really good field. It's better than I think we would have blindly expected in a PK year, if you will. PK 85 is going to have so many really good, all obviously Nike affiliated teams at that event. And so when it happened 5 years ago, Maui was still good. That was the year that Notre Dame won. Mike Bray famously took his shirt off and exposed what he exposed. So
nipples.
Correct.
Mike Bray has nipples.
In fact, I remember vividly, unfortunately, I think that was the last year. I rant about this every year, and real ones feel me. I think that was the last year that Maui's title game was in its rightful place as the last tip on Wednesday night, because I went to PK 80 that year, and instead of flying the day before Thanksgiving, I opted to fly like a 6 a.m. connecting flight. Like I flew from White Plains to Chicago, then to Chicago to Portland. And so I'm in line at, I bring this openly because I remember this vividly, was in line at security. I think I probably drove to the airport and parked there, because when I'm waiting to get cleared to get on the plane, I bring out my phone and I'm like, I want to see who won last night. Like I went to bed so early because I had to get up for this early flight. And I'm in line like groggy as all hell. It's got to be 5:30 in the morning. And
raise your hand if you ever been to White Plains Airport at 5:30 in the morning. Woo, boy, that is miserable.
It is. And
it is miserable.
Yes,
dude. I have stood.
It's a great airport, but it's tiny. So like,
I have stood in front of the White Plains Airport. It's 0 degrees, pitch black dark, and it's not even. They ain't even opened the front doors yet. I'm just like standing there, and then you go inside, and there is nothing. You can't get a cup of coffee. You can't get a bagel.
No chance.
It is.
That's like a 7 a.m. open kind of situation there. So, but I'm standing waiting, for to go through security. I bring up my phone. Who won Maui? And sure as hell, I see like photos and then videos of Mike Bray going topless celebrating. I'm like, okay. I really wish I would have stayed up and watched this thing, because this is outrageous. So, but I don't think that. So that was when the title game was late, and I don't think it's happened since then. But that was a decent field. This one is even better. I will pick GP. You know what I'll do? In this one, I think I mentioned this on the pod. I'm almost positive I mentioned it on the pod, because we talked about the damn Maui field like 15 times, because almost every single one of these teams were a summer shoot-around team. The only team that doesn't have red as its predominant color is Creighton. So I'm going to pick the blue. I'm going to take the blue team to win. Every other team, Texas Tech, Louisville, Arkansas, Ohio State, San Diego State, Arizona, Cincinnati, their most prominent hue in their colorway is red or an alteration thereof. And so I will fade that, and I will go Blue Jays. I'll say this, GP. Dude, that's a great game. That's a ranked matchup on Monday. 2:30 Eastern, reminder, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, 12:30 Mountain, 9:30 Pacific, 10:30 Alaskan. Dude, Creighton's got to play at 9:30 Hawaiian time against Texas Tech's defense. That sounds absolutely miserable.
Let me tell you something about being in Maui. It doesn't matter because you are awake at 4:30 in the morning. Dude, I've been to Maui one time and it's beautiful. I mean, I loved it. And for like, I hear you, like having the championship game, the last game is like great from a television perspective. From a in-person perspective, knocking that thing out in the middle of the day early, woo! Like I had a great last day on the island, and that's because we knocked that game out pretty early. It was a Gonzaga Duke when I was there. Gonzaga Duke, Zion Williamson, Rui Hachimura.
Yeah. I remember. That was a really good game. That was a really good game. Yeah,
it was great. So like in person, you wanted knocked out early. On TV, yeah, I'd like to spend late Wednesday watching, a relevant, awesome college basketball game. But whatever. I will say this: it's kind of crazy when you think, God, they're playing basketball at 9:30 in the morning. You are up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I never got adjusted while I was in Maui. I remember one morning I woke up and it was like 5 in the morning, and it's not like I woke because I wake up all the time in the middle of the night, but I was awake. It's like, all right, I'm done sleeping. I'm awake now. And I was like, okay, well, this is nice. Like the sun's about to come up and I'll just go, everybody else will be asleep and I'll just go for a nice walk as the sun rises on the beach. And boy, this is the life. And I went outside. Literally everybody was outside. I saw John Shire walking around with his wife and baby. Everybody, it was 6 in the morning and everybody was outside like it's noon. And that's because you're just still on normal continental United States time. And so playing at 9, just trust me when I tell you, everybody's wide awake, ready to play basketball at 9:30 in the morning. They've already been up for 5 hours.
I hear you completely on that. And that's a wonderful daytime game. Obviously, we had the MTEs from last weekend. Now they bleed over into this weekend. And man, this is it's an awesome week for the Hoop Soul. You'll have Maui and then obviously PK 85 along with a variety of other events there throughout the weekend. I'll take Creighton to win. You laid out your bracket, so I'll just do it on the fly here as well. I'll take Creighton over Tech, obviously Arkansas over Louisville. I'll take San Diego State over Ohio State. Credit to Ohio State's SID for this note in their team notes here. This means nothing, but it was noted. The FIFA World Cup starts this week, and while this may not be a note, Ohio State has made the NCAA tournament in each of the last 6 World Cup years. Sure, why not? The last time these teams met, by the way, Ohio State and San Diego State, was in Maui in 2003. San Diego State won that game 83-61. I don't think the gap will be quite that wide. That's actually kind of wild. 83-61, San Diego State, like the start of the Fisher era. But I'll take SDSU to win, and then Arizona Cincy is certainly. I think that might sneaky be the close one. Like that's got an 11:30 Eastern tip at night, and maybe we're still locked in at that at like 1:25 a.m. Eastern, and since he's keeping it close. But I'll take Arizona. Then I will take Creighton to beat Arkansas. I will take San Diego State to beat Arizona, and I will take Creighton over San Diego State in the title game.
You're predicting. This is interesting to me because you're predicting the only blue team to win. It's lining up a little bit like the midterms.
Okay.
All I heard about the midterms is there's going to be a red tsunami. I heard there was a red tsunami on the way, and then it just wasn't. And so in Maui, all I've been hearing, actually saw Clay Travis. He tweeted about this. He said in Maui it's going to be a red tsunami. He said okay, I got the midterms wrong, but trust me, when it comes to Maui, red tsunami. And you're saying not so fast, my friend. It could be a blue tsunami via the Creighton Blue Jays.
Give me the Jays.
How about that? I'm not against Creighton winning the Maui Invitational.
Should be a pretty good field. I think 5 of the 8 teams can win. I'd be surprised if it was Louisville. I'd be surprised.
Oh my God. You'd be surprised.
I know. I know.
I too would be surprised if Louisville won the Maui Invitational. I'll be surprised if Louisville wins a game in the Maui Invitational.
I'd be surprised if Louisville, Cincy, or Ohio State won. I think any of the other 5 can win.
Louisville should have refused to go to the Maui Invitational.